Hi everyone, this is Sandy Reese with Stampin' Crew.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thanks for joining me today. As you can see, we're going to do a little more close-up. We're going to do a fun magnetic slider card. So wanted to make sure you could see it really well. We are using the Totally Awesome stamp set, and we used a couple dies just for some accessories, and then we used the Soft Waves embossing folder. I love this embossing folder. It's got kind of flat waves on one side and then more of the skinnier if you want a different look on the other side. So let's get going. We made this in our Totally Awesome class this past couple weeks ago. So I wanted to share them with you. Okay, so I'm starting with the card base of Balmy Blue. That's the color. And then I've got a piece of Azure Afternoon. We have a strip of Azure Afternoon. This is 5 by 1. And I've already punched a little slot in the end for our ribbon to pull. And then I've cut out one of our turtles that's laying down from the Designer Series paper. This sun came from the Springtime Corners, something like that. It's actually retired, so you can use a circle, you can use whatever you want. It's it went on low inventory and then it just disappeared. Sometimes that happens with our online exclusives. And then these clouds came from the Sunrise Sailing set. I'm having to think of too many names here. So I'm going to do a quick stamp. All I'm doing is a little sentiment that says "Sweet Friend" on our small cloud. And that is all the stamping we are going to do. So next week I'm going to show you how to do the slider assembly. So if you run this through the embossing folder, you will notice that down here is kind of a gentle wave that goes like this. If you flip it the other way, you're seeing a big wave here. There's a little one down here, but then there's this big one. So we want the bottom to be where this nice gentle wave is. And what we're going to do, we're going to make 2 layers of waves. So I'm going to take, let's see, it goes here. That's very definitive. Right here. I'm just going to cut along the top of that wave. And then I might bring it up just a little bit. Maybe there. Okay, now what I'm going to do, so we've cut that. I'm going to flip this. This is going to be the back. And this is the front. So we're going to layer this on here. Now I might cut down a little bit because that's pretty tall back there. I want to have a little bit of room to put my sun and my clouds. So let's just trim this a hair. See if we can fit that in a little bit better. I want that even with the bottom. And I think that's nice, so we can fit our sunshine and clouds. I'll go ahead and do that, so we'll get that in place. I'll pop my clouds up later. All right, now what I want to do is put a little line of, well, I'm going to hold these together. Let's put these together, and I'm going to punch. Where's my 1-inch punch? I'm going to punch a little notch here, not too far from the bottom, right, maybe in the middle, right about there. It's going through both layers of our cardstock, okay? And this is where our piece is going to come through. Now it's actually going to be in the back, and that's where the end will come. But I want to layer, I'm going to put a layer of our foam adhesive strips. I don't know why I can't remember all the names of everything. Okay, hold on, I've cut these in different lengths and different sizes. Let me get out the one I need. I've got them all shoved in here. I think this one will be good. I'm going to put just a little strip here. That's a tad long. Let's cut that off a bit. I'm going to put this here. Now I might add a little bit later, but right now I just want that one strip, and I want it even with the bottom. Maybe if we do it this way. Hold on. I just layer that together, make sure my sides are even, hopefully just like that. Okay, so I've got that popped up, if you can see right there, but they're even right there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is make a little channel on the back with this in place. All right, so I'm gonna flip this over, and I've got my pull tab right here. So what I'm going to do is hold that in place, and just put a little foam tape on either side of my strip. And that is so that it will keep it in place. There's enough room to give it a little bit of give. Okay. But I don't want it floating around anywhere. Okay. All right, perfect. I can add, I'll just throw this little piece up here, throw that there so it won't go to waste. And then what I'm going to do is I need a stopper. So I'm going to use some of this, a little bit of tape here, and where I'm going to use, this is just a little of our baker's twine, and I'm going to adhere it right to my slider so that this is going to stop it from going too far. Before I do that, now I'm going to do a little stamping, and I'm going to put my ribbon in. And, oh, I did have more stamping. Hold on. This is what I need. We're going to emboss because we're stamping on this blue. And I'm going to use a little bit of Versamark ink and white embossing powder. And what do I want to say? They're just kind of floating in the ocean, so let's do It's Okay to Take It Slow. I think that fits with the theme of the, look at my poor ink pad. I don't know what's happened to it. Okay, I think I'm going to stamp right about there. And we're going to grab some white embossing powder. Tap that off. Okay, that looks good. Let's grab our heat tool. It's on the ground. Okay. I'm going to heat this. Just enough to melt it. Takes just a minute for it to get heated up. Okay, that looks good. All right, now I'm going to use some of this ribbon from the suite. I think I will, I really want Asia Afternoon ribbon, but we don't have any. So, you know what, I might have a little white ribbon. Hold on one sec. Let me grab some white. only because that's a little on the thick side. So let's grab a little bit of white ribbon. You can use whatever ribbon you have, but I'm going to poke it through the front and then open up that loop and put the tails through. Now you want to pull gently. If you pull too hard, you're going to pull it right out of the little loop, out of the slot. So we just want to pull it snugly, but kind of support that while you're pulling so it doesn't pull off. And then we can just kind of trim the ends there. Okay, let's get our mess cleaned up. All right, now I want to put this back in the channel and pull it out as far as I want it to go. So that's as far as I want it to go, just so I can read what my sentiment is. So I'm gonna make sure that my string is taut, and let's see, I just need a little strip. This is gonna act as a stopper too. I'm gonna put it right there, let's see. And then that's as far as I want it to come in, basically right where that one ends. I'm going to put that right there. All right, so what that does when you're looking at it, it keeps it from going out too far, and that also stops it when it comes back in. So I am going to keep this pulled out while I adhere this to the bottom. All right, now before we do that, we're going to do our magnets. So I've got 4 of these little teeny magnets. I'm going to spread them out. And in these magnets, so I bought these magnets on Amazon. Whoop. It comes, how many came in here? I don't know, 50. They're 8 by 1 millimeter. And these actually came with glue dots, which was really awesome. So I didn't even have to use my own glue dots. So they came with glue dots, and I'm going to put a glue dot on the back of 2 of these. All right. I'm going to peel that off. And I'm going to put these down near the end. I'm going to do 2. And I might put one lower and one a little bit higher, not maybe half an inch apart. Okay, that's an extra glue dot. I don't need that. Then I'm going to take these other 2, if I can pick it up, and just drop them on to the existing magnet. And then I'm going to use a glue dot on top of each one of these, just on the one side. Okay, and peel off that glue dot. I like that it came with glue dots because of just the right size for the magnets. And then I am going to stick them on my turtle. I'm putting it closer to the bottom. Hopefully that will put my turtle where I need him to be. We shall see. Okay, so now it is time to peel off all the backing from our foam tape. Let's trim this off. We don't need that long. I might put one more little piece there just to go on top of that string. Never hurts to have a little extra strength there. But hopefully nobody will be trying to pull this thing all the way out and cause a problem. Hold on. Okay. I don't want too thick there. Hello. Okay, now we're going to keep this pulled out, keep it in the channel, and then let's adhere this to right to the bottom of the card with just that tape. All right, now we've got it pulled and we can put it back in. You know, I think this is not going to work. I think it's going to come out. So let's just tie a little knot here and see if that will be better. I think that'll be better. Okay, so we've got, it's okay to take it slow, and it just slides in and out. Looks nice. You can't see it because it's behind our big wave. What I do see is a little, this is popping up a little bit. So let's just grab a little strip of this and put it right here to hold it in place. Okay. And then, now in theory, this should work. We should be able to just pop our turtle in on the magnets, and he sticks to the magnets that are on our strip. Isn't that cute? He just slides right there. You can pull him off. All over. But you want to match up the two magnets so we will stay in place. Isn't that cute? So cute. And not, I mean, it's a little bit tricky, but it's not hard. Okay, let's pop up our clouds, and then we will finish up. Okay. Just trying to get rid of the end of my dimensionals here. Okay, I'm going to put my big cloud there. We'll put our other cloud right there. Where I'm looking for my hexagons. Where are you, hexagons? Right here. All right, let's do, I'm going to use these right here. They look kind of like pool party in the ocean. One down there. Maybe we'll put a small one. We'll put a big one up here. And then he's just swimming along, floating along. It's okay to take it slow. And then you have the whole inside to do your sentiments. So I just think that is the cutest thing. Love it. I love these magnet slider cards. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's project. Don't forget that our In Color products are 15% off this month, off of most of them. And anytime you place an order with me, $50 or more online, you're also going to receive a kit of the card class projects for free. All right, thanks everybody for stopping by. I will see you next time. Our turtle says goodbye. Take it slow. All right, bye everyone.